Thank you for keeping it with Newsline. I am Becky Madujemo. Tonight, we are going to reveal the city that is probably topping the fertility charts when it comes to multiple births, particularly twins. And it's not the place you are busy predicting. It happens to be more or less a surprise. Then there is this shocking story that has to do with acute paranoia. Someone had a dream, wakes up, and sets out to ensure that the dream doesn't play out in real life, thereby turning another person's life into a living nightmare. Sounds like a Nollywood screenplay, right? It's a jaw-dropping story that happened recently, and we have everything on tape. In due course, we'll spare a thought for young Nigerians who are battling depression. We've observed the rate of suicide among youths is increased. To turn this tide, an institution has decided to step into the minds of students who are on the verge of losing it. Let's find out how they intend to succeed in this regard. Then, for some entertainment, we have snippets from the World Music Day. A recipe for a local snack made from maize. You will love it. I promise you will enjoy today's outing, which begins after Olade Bello is done the news. Great to see you, Jide.
Good to see you too, Becky, and welcome to Abuja. About 10 persons are feared dead, with others injured following a tank farm fire outbreak at the Calabar Free Trade Zone in Cross River State. Umar Basiede, who was at the scene of the incident, reports that property worth millions of naira were also destroyed.
The fire incident, some survivors and eyewitnesses say, started at the early hours while a vessel was discharging product within the tank farm. They attributed the tragic incident to the illegal activities of some persons, which led to spillage, with members of the community trying to cash in on the opportunity. With the outbreak of fire, the entire area was engulfed, including a fishing settlement at the waterfront, where some fishermen were burnt and several engine boats and fishing nets destroyed.
It was about 3:15 a.m. I was in my location there. I had a loud bang outside. Before I could open my gate to come out, I saw it has gorged this Links company, oil company there.
Up, so we hear boom for up there. As hear boom for up. So all we people we've been there, we don't run.
But this is not the first time it happened. Every year it used to happen.
Commissioner for Petroleum Resources, Cross River State, Mr. Itaya Nyong, confirmed the fire was as a result of illegal activities of criminal elements who were siphoning petrol from the tank farm.
I see a connivance of security and some other stuff, within the depot area. Otherwise, there's just no expectation that people will be taking petroleum products in jerry cans from depot.
Investigation is to be launched into the matter. In Calabar, Umar Basiede, NTA News.
A tragic one there. And still on the oil and gas sector, Minister of State Petroleum Ibe Kachiku has denied any involvement in the planned concession of Port Harcourt refinery in oil companies. Kachiku intervenes at the Senate Committee public hearing on planned concession of the Port Harcourt refinery. National Assembly correspondent Rabi Musa reports that the Petroleum Minister said private financing was sought in the maintenance of the Port Harcourt refinery.
The Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachiku, said about $300 million is needed for the maintenance of the Port Harcourt refinery after 4 years of existence. He said the present administration is poised to ensure that exportation of the country's crude oil stops by 2019.
As relevant as you consider it, but I also mentioned that in my appearance before the Joint Committee of Business for Upstream and Downstream, which was carried very extensively, I had also refuted that.
Chairman of the ad hoc committee, Senator Abuja, said that Muhammad Buhari is committed to transforming the oil sector.
In 2017, you made statements like you have now refuted those statements. But shortly when this purported statement at the World Press Conference in Houston was made, a week, just a week later, on May 12th, the Nation was the chief executive officer of Owando, and the bold headline was Owando to take over Port Harcourt refinery.
Stakeholders comprising federal government ministries and agencies, non-governmental organizations, unions, host communities, and chief executives of the companies involved in the planned concession of the Port Harcourt refinery were present at the one-day public hearing. Rabi Musa, NTA News.
Ahead of the 2019 target date for the cessation of petroleum products importation by the federal government, Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) has announced that its 3 refineries in Port Harcourt, Warri and Kaduna now supply 60% of kerosene consumed in the country. Speaking at a 2-day investigative public hearing of the House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Resources Downstream, Group Managing Director of the NNPC, Dr. Mekanti Baru, stated that the corporation's refineries were producing 5 million litres of kerosene daily, representing more than 60% of the national daily consumption requirements of 8 million litres. The Group Managing Director, represented by the Chief Operation Officer Downstream, Henry Ikem, that the balance of 3 million litres of the product was being imported by private petroleum product marketers.
The entire refining output in Nigeria through our 4 key refining assets and any imports that we may need to make to provide for shortfalls in the marketplace meet the specifications.
The committee chairman, Joseph, said the committee was mandated to work out a clear-cut policy framework for the regulation of kerosene to avert the current challenges faced by masses in procuring the product.
If your expenses is less, profitability will increase, and you can also pass part of the profit to cushion the effect on your customers.
Now, German ambassador to Nigeria, Ben Haslek, has insisted that the Economic Partnership Agreement (EPA) between the European Union and Nigeria will not hamper industrialization as being contemplated from certain quarters. He was speaking of European Economic Union problems, prospects and opportunities for Nigeria at an event organized by the Institute of Directors, Nigeria in Abuja. Justin Bem-Oyi reports.
The ambassador, while encouraging Nigeria to ponder on its stance on the trade agreement, cited 5 African countries that have massively increased their agricultural export to the EU after the EPA agreement. He argued that products exported from Nigeria to the EU at the moment or in the nearest future, and those the EU offers to Nigeria, not in any way similar. So the fear of hampering industrialization should be ruled out. The ambassador added that with one of the priorities of the Nigerian government policy to strengthen the agricultural sector, it will of course make sense to strengthen also the agricultural exporting related side of the economy.
Of course, there are clauses that would shelter some clear-cut areas where you are to develop an infant industry.
He commended the efforts of the government on ease of doing business initiative as an internal move to improve the economy. Justin Bem-Oyi, NTA News.
Our Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu has assured Nigerians that the constitutional amendments being carried out by the 8th Assembly will be a departure from previous ones. These are the conclusion of the Joint Second Committee on the Review of 1999 Constitution in Lagos. Annie Daniel reports.
The Constitution, with a view to amend it for a harmonized position. At the end of the retreat, Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu revealed that 23 bills dealing with separate issues were examined. Among them are the time frame within which the President or Governor is expected to assent to a bill, and also authorize expenditure for the Federal Revenue Fund or state.
The executive most time they don't bring the budget on time because I believe they have 6 months to operate the previous year budget. So and National Assembly also take their own time. Now we have reduced the threshold to 3 months. If the President refuses to sign or tell the Assembly within 30 days, and made the return to the National Assembly, he refuses to sign, he refuses to bring it back. After 30 days, it becomes automatic.
The issue of minimum wage and decentralization of governance were also examined.
What is being expected is there should be a minimum wage across the country. one threshold, both the public sector and the private sector.
The committee is optimistic that with full cooperation of Nigerians, the desired goal will be achieved.
If for any reason people realize that they have made one or two mistakes, it can be accepted.
The amended section 1999 Constitution is expected to be presented in separate bills in Lagos. Annie Daniels, NTA News.
On a bit of politics, the All Progressives Congress APC has reacted to People's Democratic Party's plan to sack it from power in 2019. This followed last Wednesday's verdict by the Supreme Court in favor of the McCarthy faction of the PDP. A statement by the APC National Publicity Secretary Bolaji Abdullahi described the statement as an exuberance that trails the victory. The statement observes that the narrative, which it initially wanted to ignore, had gained preponderance among the party it said had run down the country. It urges not only the PDP but all Nigerians to hold APC accountable in comparison to PDP's years in power. APC laments PDP benchmark to mock President Muhammadu Buhari with his situation, describing it as un-African and ungodly. The Cross River State government has pledged to complement the federal government's efforts in fighting corruption in the country. The state governor and Ayade made the pledge during a one-day anti-corruption summit in Calabar. Woodwacket has details.
Governor Ayade, represented by his deputy Professor Ivaris, said his administration is committed in ensuring that the anti-corruption campaign is a reality. He said in an effort to curb corruption, the state government has undertaken a detailed audit and biometric verification of all workers and pensioners in the state service. And through the exercise, about 803 youth workers and 1,754 pensioners were removed from the state payroll. Professor Isu said Ayade's administration is guided by the principles of fairness, accountability, and transparency, and has continued to adhere strictly to the fiscal regulations governing operations of public accounting in Cross River states.
The Ayade administration has leveraged on the tenets of this legislation by ensuring equitable, effective, and efficient application of resources for the provision of infrastructural facilities and socio-economic services for the improvement of the well-being of our people.
Chairman, Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences, Mr. Ibunta, said the summit will chart a course for Cross River State anti-corruption agenda, which will enthrone integrity and strengthen good governance.
Corruption is abuse of public office for private gain. For you to succeed, you must, from the perspective of ICPC, not look at the acts of corruption alone, you must look at the foundation.
The summit had as its theme institutionalization of good governance for sustainable development. In Calabar, NTA News.
Sustained synergy and interagency collaboration among security partners continue to serve as a tool to curb trans-border crime and ensure regional security. These came to the fore at a 5-day ECOWAS Interpol joint training and operations along Nigeria and Niger border tagged Ninibo, Sokoto. Mohammed Nasir reports.
Joint training and operations which drew participants from Nigeria and Niger Republic focus on how to effectively fight against illicit drug trafficking, criminal network, and falsified medicine. It was organized to bring about the required synergy and coordination in the framework of the fight against transborder crime. Participants resolved that lack of effective management and control of West African borders, the prevalence of illicit drugs trafficking and other organized crimes. Chairman, National Drugs Law Enforcement Agency, said the agency is currently working out modalities to engage states of the sub-region in bilateral agreement and signing of memorandum of understanding that will strengthen cooperation, enhance intelligence sharing, and mitigate constraints.
I'd like to say that it's a very good development first in our border, Nigeria. Because the two countries almost sound the same.
Criminals have no border. Therefore, we should try as much as possible to eliminate border between doing our job as law enforcement agencies.
During the event, operations were carried out along Nigeria border, where seizures were made. Seized items include 67 kilograms of diazepam, 22 kilograms of tramol, 794 kilograms of codeine, and 30 grams of cannabis. In Sokoto, Muhammad Nasir, NTA News.
Nigerians have been urged to have confidence in the country and be proud of it as the nation has what it takes to rule the world. Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Christian Pilgrims Commission, NCPC, Reverend Tao, said this when he met the Director General Voice of Nigeria, Osita Okechukwu, in Abuja. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday has details.
Israel is one of the countries Nigerians visit for pilgrimage. Reverend Uja says Nigerians must showcase beauty and endowment of the nation, especially in the Holy Land. He said the commission is repositioning pilgrimage as strategy to enable all those who go on pilgrimage find Christ in truth and live for him.
Nigeria is not just a common entity. God had reasons for forming Nigeria. The coming together of Nigeria is beyond even what colonialists conceived.
Osita Okechukwu expressed readiness to partner the commission, whose agenda on restructuring line the present administration's vision.
So Mr. President said, instead of talking about the superstructure restructuring, why don't I start with the substructure? Change his mind, and he have to go back to work. The single track accounts. But he had the political will to implement it.
Osita Okechukwu urged the commission not to relent in providing excellent services and administration to Nigerian Christians who perform pilgrimage to holy sites around the world. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
The National Assembly has commended the visionary leadership of the Nigerian Air Force and reaffirmed commitment to strengthen legislation that will ensure increased budgetary allocation to the security agency. Chairman Senate Committee on Air Force Ali Wakili made the commitment to combined graduation of Regiment Course 23, the Nigerian Air Force in Kaduna. Benny Adams has details.
Air Force has, in the last 2 years, under the leadership of Air Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar, recorded milestone achievement in the area of training and retraining of personnel, as well as acquiring assets to improve on existing air power. The graduation is yet another landmark for the Air Force, as 216 personnel were trained on production of air assets and Nigerian airports by the British Military Advisory Training Team. In the same vein, the Nigerian Air Force took delivery of 5 more Shark aircraft from Pakistani Aeronautic Company, aimed at enhancing the capacity of Nigerian pilots.
We have a commitment to Nigerians and to the Air Force that within the limit of resources of Nigeria, we are going to ensure that they are properly budgeted for.
This is our 4th iteration of training in a 5-year plan. Improve each time we come back. Now that must say something about the legacy of the training that the Chief of the Air Staff has directed.
We're going to put the aircraft together as quickly as possible. It will be used in our flying training school. While the regiment personnel that you just saw have been trained, to have the skills to take care of critical assets.
Before the end of the year, the Nigerian Air Force is expected to take delivery of 15 Super Moshak training aircraft from Pakistan. In Kaduna, Benny Adams, NTA News.
The desire to see Nigeria become a peaceful, loving and happy nation can be actualized if citizens become supportive of each other in times of need. This was the message echoed at the Annual Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association Thanksgiving service held in Abuja. So, Damian Darty reports.
The central message at the Annual Power Week drew attention of worshipful Nigerians to the plight of many people who are wallowing in poverty, in need of love, encouragement or just counseling. Because of the occasion emphasized the need for extension of care to one another to build bridge among people to realize a harmonious, unified and peaceful country.
Please, I want us not to be so preoccupied as to forget to touch the lives of the needy people around us.
How many of us have done bad social living? When did we visit the prisons? Even the hostels by our staff.
The Thanksgiving service was attended by top-ranking military officers, including the of defense staff.
Ranging from insurgency, kidnapping, cultism, all were there, and God has been helping us.
Special prayers were offered for the speedy recovery and return of President Muhammadu Buhari and peace of the nation. Momso Damian Dati, NTA.
Still on religious matters, have been enjoined to grow positively in character and take a stand for righteousness to encourage national reconciliation. This was the message related later General Assembly Presbyterian Church of Nigeria at a Sunday service. Lydia Bassi was there.
With the topic, Grow Your Character If, Most Reverend Nzeike charged the congregation to get themselves repackaged and move in the right direction with an undivided heart.
It takes a person of character in the midst of everything to remain who you are. God is a rewarder of those who serve Him, who diligently follow Him.
Highlight of the service was the formal reception of the Presbyterian Church of Nigeria Director of Ecumenism and Interfaith Relations, Reverend Ukpoho, into office.
In the token there, we give you the right hand of flesh and the grace of Lord Jesus Christ.
A divided nation can never make progress. But a united nation will fulfill God's given destiny for that nation.
Everybody knows that the Christians, there must be Muslims, there must be even atheists. Their interests ought to be protected within a united Nigeria.
Prayers were offered for Nigeria and her leadership. In Abuja, Lydia Bassi, NTA News.
Away from religious matters, the federal government has continued to make its presence felt in various IDP camps in Borno State through intervention initiatives implemented by government agencies. Latest of such was the presentation of relief materials to widows and households at the Teachers Village IDP camp in Maiduguri by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and Internally Displaced Persons. Mohammed Ibrahim reports.
This is Shetima Ali Ngono Teachers Village Camp, which houses more than 8,000 IDPs from Ngala and Kuka local government areas of Borno State. This food distribution, launched by the Federal Commission and National Commission for Refugees, Migrants and IDPs, Sadia Umar Farouk, is targeting 1,200 households, the elderly as well as widows.
The federal government has been there. Since I came, we've been giving interventions to the northeast that are being affected by this insurgency. You know, the commission is being guided by appropriation. Whatever is being appropriated to the commission has been spent graciously to these people.
The Federal Commissioner added that a lot still needs to be done by government and non-state actors to cover the gap of victims of insurgency, as well as ensuring proper coordination of assistance to have the desired impact. A total of 1,725 and 12 kilograms bags of beans were distributed to beneficiaries by the Commission. Some of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude for the gesture, which they said would go a long way in augmenting feeding requirements in the midst of short supplies. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Ibrahim, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari commiserates with the government and people of Sokoto State over the passing away of a member House of Representatives representing Wamako Federal Constituency, Abdullahi Muhammad Wamako. In a statement released by Senior Special Assistant to the President, Media and Publicity, Garba Shibu, the President extends condolences to the leadership of the National Assembly, professional colleagues, and the immediate family of the deceased, who had contributed immensely to the development of democracy. Describing late lawmaker as gentle and uncontroversial, President Buhari noted that Wamako gave encouragement to the younger generation to join politics and contribute their own quota to national development. The President prayed Allah to bless the soul of the deceased and reward his good deeds. The Primate Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, Reverend Nicholas Oko, has admonished political leaders not to abuse privileged positions but provide service to the people. The cleric was speaking at a solemn gathering for the late Professor Babatunde Oshomehin in Abuja. Serafina Kun reports.
I'm grateful for his life. I celebrate his life. I'll always be proud of you, Dad.
The move at the National Christian Center, where the solemn service for the late Executive Director of the United Nations Population Fund, former Minister of Health and Chairman of National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Professor Babatunde Oshotimehi, betrayed the emotions of top government officials and other guests at the event.
That our late professor has made towards the HIV/AIDS response in Nigeria is huge and highly significant.
He was always thinking of others, what he could do for others.
Most Reverend Oko, the primate of the Anglican Communion, who read from the book of Genesis chapter 1 verse 3 and 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 10, reminded faithful that death comes at unknown time. He admonished all to always do good and urged people in position of authority to stay away from public treasury, be fair and leave behind lasting legacies. Tributes from different personalities vividly portrayed who and what the late Oshotimehi was and did for Nigeria and humanity.
Men serve God and humanity.
For everything under the sun, there is a season. The legacies of Professor Babatunde Oshotimehi lives on, especially his fight on HIV-free generation. From the National Christian Center, Abuja, Serafina Okon, NTA News.
Senegal suspended campaigns for upcoming elections this Sunday as a mark of respect for 8 persons killed in a stadium stampede. Government also announced an inquiry into the incident, which was triggered by fights between rival fans that forced police to respond with tear gas. Niger Flickers and Kada Queens win 2017 Hockey Super League as Roger Federer wins 8th Wimbledon title in 1 hour 43 minutes. Amanzi Marcus reports.
Niger Flickers of Mina Hockey Club in sky blue and white jersey are champions of the 2017 National Hockey Super League with a 1-0 victory over Police Machine in the final, decided at the Package B section of the Abuja National Stadium. In the Women's League, Kada Queens of Kaduna successfully defended their title, beating Yobe Desert Queens 5-1.
The federal state government must develop more interest in sports development.
We have discovered enormous amounts of talent, young men that hitherto we didn't know.
At the verge of awarding a contract for a sports facility in Mina.
The All Nigeria Athletics Championships ended Saturday at the Abuja National Stadium, with 2 more athletes qualifying for next month's World Championships in London. Patience Okon-George won the 400 meters in 51.06 seconds, while Abike Egeniyi's time of 52.10 seconds in the semis also earned her a place in the competition. 13 other athletes, including Amusan Okagbare, Nathaniel Bangboshi, Ndu, Shogbeson, Egwim and Brume will equally represent Nigeria. The Athletics Federation of Nigeria hopes more qualifiers will emerge to join the 15 during Wednesday's Confederation of African Athletics and Warri Relays in Delta State. Meanwhile, range venue for the 2017 Summer Junior Development Clinic at the IBB International Golf and Country Club Abuja is set for Monday's training as 100 golfers have registered. The annual clinic, which started in the year 2011, has become an avenue to produce future professional golfers for the country.
After these formative years of them, we need to put them in the movement that will be very, very interesting.
Switzerland's Roger Federer on Sunday became the first man to win Wimbledon 8 times and extended his record to 19 Grand Slam titles after defeating Croatia's Marin Cilic 6-3, 6-1, 6-4 in London. With Sports Update, Amanzi Marcus, NTA News.
And now a quick check on the weather forecast for Monday. You can watch these news live online via the NTA mobile app, which you can download on your Android device at the Google Play Store or the Apple Store if you use devices with iOS. Newsline is still ahead after these short messages. Please stay tuned.
Hi, Tracy. What's my flight number? Tracy, do you have a phone I can use? This is so old school.
Try this.
There's no network on here.
What about this one?
Seriously? Does anybody have 4G here?
Hello, madam.
Hi.
There you go.
Thank you. Wow, it's ultra fast.
Of course, it's Glow 4G LTE turbocharged.
And you are super fly.
Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too. Bye.
Glow 4G LTE.
I need to sit next to you in the flight.
These data plans are available to all new customers and existing customers who renew their plans. Dial *777#. Welcome to the new speed of life.
Nigeria's #1 best private university in Google Scholar ranking, Afe Babalola University, Ado-Ekiti, Abuja, invite applications for admission to the 2017-2018 academic session. Postgraduate and undergraduate programs are available in colleges of agriculture, engineering, law, medicine and health sciences, sciences and social and management sciences. For detailed information on criteria for admission, UTME requirements, foundation programs, direct entry, inter-university transfer, change of institution, form selling point, and post-UTME screening exercise, visit www.abua.edu.ng or call 081-2777-2121, 080-344-02771 or 080-3350-9150.
Abua, a vision in motion.
Cadbury Bournvita now comes in an attractive new 500-gram refill pack. Simply open and reseal after use to retain the chocolatey and creamy taste. Cadbury Bournvita. Prepare to win.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Bros, I find correct words.
Huh? See the shop for that side.
Auntie, don't call that. Where be correct words? Now the shop be done, now the next one.
Peter, see as people they pack, they go to the shop, go buy clothes. It don't reach like 5 days now. I just suspect this Tunde way this is where in Waka could carry Waka. See, I go blow whistle. I go blow whistle to Kuku spoil.
Your whistle. Come on, go investigate the matter before you blow whistle. Whistle blood. Come on, come on. Thank you for coming.
Show first. Come. Not only you the circular for this market. Why be saying only your shop everybody they come? I just want blow whistle. I go blow something.
This is not be whistle blowing matter. Now MTN goodie bag.
What it be MTN goodie bag?
With MTN goodie bag, if you carry your market enter another level, whether not for Facebook or for WhatsApp or for Twitter, for as low as 25 naira.
25 naira.
Yes.
Or buy 5 what you like for 50 naira. Dial *131# to start.
So with MTN goodie bag, your business go pure.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
Hey, now who they here? My name now Mr. Shortcut. I dey mind my money. Now cheap one, I dey buy. From that, we sign. Now to buy cheap one. Hey, now one kind cable for my yard. A cheap building material where we take build my office. I think say I dey save money. Office building collapse and fire burn my house.
You don't see what happened to Mr. Shortcut? Well, Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, done ready for action and say enough of pain, loss and wastage. And if you see product where no dey correct, call the SON office when near you or SON help desk. Standards Organization of Nigeria, improving life through standards.
Thanks for staying on the line. Now, whenever we talk about Nigeria's rich cultural heritage on this program, we are not exaggerating. In the area of food, at the risk of sounding immodest, Nigeria's culinary is second to none worldwide. No wonder when Nigerians go abroad, they either take along with them local foodstuff or cut short their stay because they miss home food. This report is on a local delicacy popularly amongst the ethnic of Cross River State. It is called a koki, prepared from maize. Let's hear about it from Esu Edodi.
A butterly fluffy dish known as nkubin clay in Abuja local government area, while in Bekwara it is called ekwang ikuri, as well as Igbo akumakba in Yala local government area, among other traditional names. Maize pudding is a local delicacy cherished by Northern Cross Riverians. It is prepared like moi moi and wrapped in plantain leaf to add a pleasant flavor to it.
So this is our local delicacy. It is more enjoyable when you eat it with your hands.
Corn moi moi, which has become more of a staple food in Northern Cross River State, is rich in carbohydrate, fats, protein, vitamins, among other nutrients. It is a household meal, mostly prepared during maize season.
They enjoying the food well. Now corn moi moi, now my people with the chop. Me are from Okpoma, with the call them Igbo Igumakpa. And it's a delicacy we all enjoy. Right now you see I'm enjoying it as well. And you can see I'm in Ogoja.
Corn, maize is high in carbohydrates. Corn itself, it's very important. It's widely eaten and widely accepted, be it young or adult.
Maize, with the botanical name zimis, also known as corn, is a large grain plant which has become a staple food in many parts of the world, including Northern Cross River State.
I'm sure you know that meal. Practically every tribe has their version of ikoki. In my place, we call it okwoka, and so on. It's delicious. Moving on, way back in history in this country, giving birth to twins was a taboo. It was considered bad omen, and so at birth, twins were killed. This continued until a European missionary by name Mary Slessor put a stop to it. If you ask most mothers in Nigeria today, they will tell you they love to have twins. Our focus today is on Minna, the Niger State capital, where we hear the rate of multiple births is on the increase. Olayoju Ariyomi, who put this piece together, reports that the trend is unexplainable.
Statistics shows that multiple births are on the increase in Minna, the Niger State capital, especially in the families and communities that are not likely to have them due to their body system and history of the people. Investigation shows that neonatal wing Minna General Hospital has continued to record increasing number of twins and triplets, almost in all the delivery taken from January to May this year.
From statistics, out of a total of 2,024 deliveries, we recorded about 70 multiple pregnancies. That means that multiple pregnancy occurs 1 in every 29 pregnancies. Now, if you compare this with the statistics in the world, they said 1 in every 90 pregnancies.
I'm very happy because it's not all the people that God always gives. Yesterday.
Since I gave birth to them, I have never had rest. Twins and triplets are seen as good luck and blessing, particularly to some families that were childless and poor, as attested to by Mr. and Mrs. Amos Gia.
In our generation,
My mother delivered twins, but we never get them straight before. And we're very glad for seeing them growing.
Then I was working with a consultant firm. So it's so tedious. I have to go to the office, come back in the afternoon to feed them, to breastfeed them. So I have to come home on bike. We don't even have a car then. So it's the twins that brought car.
Surprisingly, almost all the residents of this area called Abdusalam Quarters and Gwakajimina have multiple births.
I was very, very happy, in fact, because I never expect I will be blessed by these very twins.
Children born through multiple births are still considered by many to be extraordinary and sacred beings.
Sometimes if I cook, it does not get done if they are angry until I plead with them.
This day, my mom scolded two of us. She was cooking. The bottom was raw and the top was cooked.
When she gets us angry, she tends to see scorpion.
The scorpion I do believe in that. Sometimes if you get angry too much, she's the only best friend I have. She's my partner in crime.
People have always come to us to give us things, not even knowing what they want. But then eventually they get to tell us it's because they want twins. Please help me pray for twins. They will bring beans. I have been mistaken for my very often. I play along very well. I like deception and it works very well.
It's just a special bond between the two of us.
It is a fact that the rate of multiple births in Minna, the Niger State capital, is relatively higher than some parts of the world. Could it be genes, culture, lifestyle, or food?
If I get twins 2 times, I'm okay.
It's amazing how a particular axis births twins. I wouldn't be surprised if some people relocate to Minna. It might just be something in the air or in their food. Who knows? Next up, for what many would consider insufficient reason, some people have taken their own lives. Committing suicide cuts across all ages. It is a trend on the rise in Nigeria, and most people are concerned. Psychiatrists say the major cause is depression. This report is, however, prompted by attempted suicide cases by students of the University of Lagos. Disturbed by this, the university organized an event to sensitize students on the need to seek help whenever they are troubled. Emel Dori witnessed it and compiled this report.
We had a suicide in one of our female hostels a few months back, and the student took sniper.
The girl in question, whose name was not given, reportedly was wrongfully accused of stealing. The news went viral on campus and in the social media. She felt tarnished and unable to face the world. Having been so accused, the girl committed suicide.
The news that she stole makeup, she said she did not steal it. Since the parents, they heard about it, so the parents paid for the money. They said it's 2,000. To our greatest surprise, I think 2 days later, we heard that she drank sniper.
Very unfortunate when you hear colleagues dying for really no reason.
There are reported cases of other students of the University of Lagos who attempted suicide. The university is now standing firm on its feet to tell the students that suicide is not the answer. Now the university authority is aware that this tendency among some of the students is in the result of drug abuse and depression.
Some are even engaging in all these substances like marijuana, codeine, tramadol.
Taking the bull by the horn, the university's counseling unit has joined hands with some professional organizations that handle mental health issues to educate the students on why it is absolutely unnecessary to commit suicide.
We are sensitizing them so that they will know that there is help when they need it. We have given them toll-free numbers. We have made them aware that there is a counseling unit, there are experts on campus, and that suicide is not the answer to whatever problem that they have.
They felt that, oh, I'm all alone. I'm the only one going through whatever I'm passing through, and they don't believe that people are also there who can also help.
The message was taken to all the faculties, departments and hostels by students themselves, appealing to fellow students to speak out when they have challenges and not resorting to taking their own lives.
Just think about one more day.
But how would a person know when they are depressed? Psychologists explain.
For somebody who is normally jovial, you see the person always wants to be alone, and then you might start seeing marks on the person's body that the person has tried to kill themselves, or body markings, or tearing themselves on the wrist, things like that. And also the way they talk, some of them start talking about like maybe the other side, life after death, what would the world be without them.
No doubt a medical condition. Is there a treatment or cure for depression?
Either you use maybe psychotherapy, that's using CBT, cognitive therapies, or you can mix that too with drugs. There are antidepressants that people can use, and all depending on the kind of depression, whether it's mania or it's manic depression.
Well, the University of Lagos has gone a step further to design programs to train people who can act as first responders in the incidents of suicide attempts.
With the assistance of our colleagues in the College of Medicine, establish a platform where student leaders are now being trained as volunteers and intervene when necessary.
The central message of the campaign is, don't ever contemplate suicide. Speak to someone.
Please, people out there, it can't be so bad. It can't be so out of hand. You can talk to someone.
UNILAG is on the right track. Other institutions should consider towing that line of action. Now, tell me, if you had a dream about someone doing bad things to you, would you wake up in the morning and attack them violently? Does it make sense to do so? Someone in Okpanam Delta State did just that to a young girl in the prime of her life. The culprit claims she saw the victim's mother in her dreams. Elo Agbra in Asaba has the report. Some of the visual content are graphic. We advise via discretion.
Before the 4th of June, 17-year-old Judith John Paul, who hails from Undokwa East local government area of Delta State, looked forward to a bright and rewarding future. She had set the machinery in motion to achieving her desire of becoming a pharmacist, having scored 5 Bs and 3 credits at the 2015-2016 West African Examination Council's results. Now the vision seems threatened as she was baited with acid in Okpanam right at the entrance to her church. She's battling for her life at the Federal Medical Center in Asaba. On what led to this ugly incident, the victim and her mother had this to say.
They claim say he get belle me a chop in pikin. Like they see me for dream, I won't kill her, I carry my daughter give the husband.
I heard footsteps at my back, so when I turned, she called me. I didn't know what she called me until when I felt my face was rising, my body was hurting me. So I started shouting. She now said that she will call me and my family, all of us in the house, that she's going to kill us.
The medical director, FMC Asaba, Dr. Victor Osiatuma, spoke on the level of damage and what could be done.
She definitely will need a lot of plastic reconstruction. We have a plastic surgeon who is done the first surgery to be right. She's going to go for a second surgery. We can handle it. It's just that we're looking at the cost.
The police public relations officer, Delta State Command, DSP, Animeka Andrew, confirmed the incident.
We've done an investigation and she's been arraigned in court where she was remanded in prison at Abuja.
When NTA news crew visited the home of Mrs. Stella Agbo, who allegedly committed the crime, the place was under lock and key. NTA News took the question to town if it is right to attack one physically because he or she was seen in one's dream.
The law does not recognize witchcraft. It's a felony, it's a crime. And imprisonment is life imprisonment.
If you have such dreams, what you need to do as a Christian, even if you are not a Christian, is to pray and rebuke that very familiar spirit.
There's nothing in our custom that suggests somebody seeing something in the dream, he will be prepared to go and attack another person.
It is a prayer of John Paul's loved ones that she will be well again to pursue her dream while the perpetrator is brought to book. This hopefully will serve as a deterrent for others who perceive dreams that way.
The attacker is obviously mentally challenged, hence she took laws into her hands. That is no excuse, though. The law will do the needful. Next, we open the page on corporate events. You will get to see what different companies are doing to add value to the lives of Nigerians and to the society generally. Stay on the line while we take a break for these messages.
Now it's right here on your phone.
Welcome to the Glow Cafe. Come on in. It's buzzing in the Zanga. In here, anything is possible. Check out the menu, and here are some of the hot items. Over here, you can buy credit, buy data, share data, borrow voice and data, give data. Give it to him now, be kind. Then there is Glow Music Cafe. More than 2 million Nigerian and Africa Lamba. Glow has teamed up with the world's largest gaming catalog to bring you the Glow Game Cafe. And that's just a start. Check out the Glow Video Cafe. Countless clips, comedy and sports, direct to your device. And when you thought things couldn't get easier, there's personal account management and Glow customer care right at your fingertips.
You can get everything at Glow.
Simply text BUZZ to 105 to download the Glow Cafe app or go to your app store and search for Glow Cafe, the largest data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
The secret to my everyday radiance is that chocolate glow. It gives me confidence.
I've not made my hair.
Congratulations, girl. Here is chocolate for you.
Chocolate. I couldn't have asked for better.
Chocolate waves come in different styles and sizes. It's 100% human hair, long-lasting and affordable. I just upped my game with chocolate waves.
Sweet life, chocolate hair.
Saham Unit Trust Insurance Nigeria Limited. We work with you each step of the way. At the start of your dreams, from business to home ownership, assets, property, and personal effects, we will cover your risk of loss or damage, just as we have grown, silently but confidently, from a national brand to becoming part of a key global player in insurance services. At Saham Unit Trust Insurance Nigeria Limited, we build your trusts and confidence as nature nourishes life. You give me strength and confidence. Saham Unit Trust Insurance Nigeria Limited. Trust, strength, and confidence.
How can she not want makeup?
Maybe when the battery dies, she'll come back to us.
Nah, not with a 4,000 milliampere battery.
Experience the best selfies of your life. Gioni A1 Super Selfie Super Battery.
With Happy Cover from Leadway Assurance, you'll be covered for, well, almost anything. From automobile cover...
Boys, play nicely.
...to house... ...to personal cover. All with one single premium.
Play nicely with your brother. That's it, we're going home.
That was close.
Yes, luckily I have Happy Cover. Oh, I have Happy Cover too. Sorry about your house.
Actually, I have Happy Cover also, so...
Maybe he needs happy. Live happy with Leadway Assurance, ensuring happiness since 1970.
Cadbury Bournvita now comes in an attractive new 500-gram refill pack. Simply open and reseal after use to retain the chocolatey and creamy taste. Cadbury Bournvita. Prepare to win.
Welcome back. It was a handful of weeks ago that the impressive complex of the Copyright Society of Nigeria, CASN, in Lagos was inaugurated. Only yesterday, the Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, was hosted in that same building by the management of CASN. What was originally packaged as an interactive session turned out to be an event where the minister was honored. In what way? Anthony Forsen reports.
Chairman, Copyright Society of Nigeria, Tony Okoroji, welcomed the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, to CASN House. The minister, not being alone, was accompanied by the Director General, Nigerian Television Authority, Malam Yakubu Ibn Muhammad, and some chief executives of parastatals under the ministry. First was the achievements of Cousin 7 years down the road, packaged in a documentary format.
Every top musician in Nigeria is a COSON member. Such musicians as Two-Face Idibia,
The Badge,
Emergency, emergency, you never see me coming through.
Orlando, Dr. C, Banky W, Whiskey.
Then a brief on the man, Lai Mohammed, as produced by Cousin.
It has been said that if you are looking for someone to effectively champion, promote, or defend a cause, you cannot find a better person than Alhaji Lai Raufu Mohammed. When Alhaji Lai Mohammed was made Nigeria's minister responsible for culture, those who know him well were clear that Nigeria's creatives could not have got a better advocate or champion. The incredibly approachable minister has set out an unprecedented full-blown effort.
It was a moment of eulogies for the minister who has made record for being the first minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to visit Cousin House, accompanied by chief executives of key parastatals whose mandate encapsulates the products from the creative industry.
Sir, you need to bring the young generation into your fold. They feel the older generation is not carrying them along, so they're getting more and more worthless and useless. You can see them all over social media. I get a chagrin of pain. So we need to reorientate this generation, sir, and it is at your desk, and I know you can do it. God bless you.
As a mark of honor, the minister was registered in the Cousin's Roll of Honor and decorated with a medal.
Let everyone, everywhere be informed that on this 15th day of July 2017, the name Lai Raufu Mohammed has been entered into the Cousin Roll of Honor for his showing of noteworthy dedication towards the respect and promotions of the rights of the creative people in Nigeria.
For the minister, it is an honor that has humbled him.
But I think it's proof that this government takes the industry seriously. We must encourage our local artists. Situation whereby, films are made outside Nigeria and consumed in Nigeria must be looked into. So we are going to look into our broadcasting code to ensure that we actually empower our own artists. We must stop exporting our own jobs.
The engagement with the minister has been very, very useful. I'm inspired to have a minister who will call you and say, there is this problem, what can we do about it? And it doesn't call you through a secretary or a personal assistant. It calls you personally and it deals with the issues. We are inspired.
As the Nigerian music industry celebrates 7 years of Cousin, the practitioners are further assured that the music landscape will be broadened, made brighter and better in the years ahead, because the Cousin House is well equipped to meet modern-day technology in tracking activities of its members worldwide.
Congratulations to the minister for yet another honor well deserved. It is to create employment opportunities in Nigeria and financial empowerment for the citizens. Managers Western Lotto Nigeria Limited say the company was established. The unveiling took place in Lagos during the week, and Annie Daniels witnessed it for your sake.
Officials of Western Lotto Company updated the public with the history of lotteries, which dates back to 20 BC. They said back then, the proceeds were deployed to good causes in various countries across the world. They assured guests at the event that Western Lotto will also devote part of its earnings to corporate social investments.
Scholarships, support for IDP, support for rape victims, support for widows.
Participants spend small change like 50 naira, 100 naira, or to win great prizes. We are committed to empowering citizens, creating jobs.
For those who have reservations about lotteries because they believe it is a game of gambling, their fears were allayed.
The stakes are very high in gambling. People bet with expensive items, including house, cars, and even wives. A lottery is a numbers game of chance for entertainment and recreation that carries much less risk.
Western Lotto is the first mobile lotto in Nigeria. Managers of the company say they are committed to promoting global best practices and determined to live up to expectation.
Several platforms. We have the USSD, where you can reach those that don't have mobile phones. We have the mobile phone, the smartphones, where you can reach people that are up there. Then we have the terminals, we have the POS. So we have the POS terminals, then we have the website. So, and we have the SMS, so that everybody is able to place a bet, to buy a lottery ticket.
All of the jackpot prizes are also guaranteed by our company in the UK.
Western Lotto is licensed by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission in Nigeria to operate terrestrial and online platforms for gaming activities, including lotteries, lotto, instant draw, among others.
This is huge, this is massive. So let the games begin. Let's start playing.
Star Deepwater Petroleum Limited, a Chevron company, and its co-venturers in the Agbami field, Fanfa Oil, NNPC, Start Oil Nigeria, and Petrobras, are not about to apply their brakes anytime soon in donating chest clinics and laboratory equipment across the country for the treatment of tuberculosis. The companies, have taken their kind gesture to the University College Hospital, Ibadan, where Newsline is told laboratory equipment were donated. Health Minister Professor Isaac Adewale was there, and he performed the national standard operating procedure for tuberculosis diagnosis.
These books may our patients, Nigerians, benefit from the use of the guidelines.
The Health Minister, Professor Isaac Adewale, unveiling the program meant to ensure standardized and harmonized procedure in laboratories for diagnosis of tuberculosis, including the resistant strains. Professor Adewale also commissioned some laboratory equipment for tuberculosis treatment at the hospital. The laboratory is equipped with autoclave machine, 20 kVA stabilizer with 2 inverters, 2 units of dehumidifier and cold centrifuge. To ensure regular power supply, the Agbami co-venturers provided a standby electricity generator.
Where you invest $1 in infrastructure, you get $3 in return. But you invest $1 in TB, you get $85. So there's a huge profit when they invest. In any case, a healthy workforce is needed to even generate oil and other things. So we quite appreciate this support because of the returns that we get from it.
The co-venturers in the Agbami field, Deepwater Petroleum, a Chevron company, Fanfa Oil, NNPC, State Oil and Petrobras have so far donated a total of 25 chest clinics to different states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja.
The laboratory equipment we are donating today are meant to help enhance healthcare delivery in this foremost hospital and benefit Oyo State and the nation at large.
With the provision of this laboratory equipment, the University College Hospital is thinking ahead.
I'm very grateful for the donation made by Agbanico venturers. We can assure the entire nation that cases of specimens that are referred within 3 days would make the diagnosis will be sorted out.
Government appreciates this kind gesture.
The Star Deepwater and its co-venturers have not ceased in their social intervention drive in the areas of health with 25 chest clinics and in education with 33 science laboratories across the country.
Moving on, after 9 months of keeping its word with all the customers who emerged winners in the Get Alerts in Millions promotion, Fidelity Bank PLC has drawn the curtain on the promo. With a final draw, this was celebrated at the bank's headquarters in Lagos. Musa Toliat was there and tells us about it.
Prior to the final draws of Fidelity Bank's Get Alert in Millions promo, a total of 143 lucky winners had been given cash rewards to the tune of 85 million naira and several consolation prizes. The final draw, however, saw Lawal Abimbola Bakari emerge as the star prize winner of 5 million naira.
Today we conducted both monthly draw and quarterly draw to just conclude the promo. So we've been able to contact the star prize winner.
The monthly draw also produced winners of 1 million, 2 million, and 3 million naira in Lagos, Abuja, South-South, South-East, South-West, and the northern parts of the country.
The bank have just made you a millionaire.
Wow.
This
is very good news.
Faithful savers, so to say, who have been with the bank for a very long time, and for those that are also coming in as well, that's been the quest to delight them and also reward them for being faithful customers of the bank.
Consolation prizes of refrigerators and power generating sets were given out to 12 lucky customers.
Our happiness is not just being able to build the save, but also imbibe the saving culture.
We're always happy when customers, attribute some of their successes to what you have been able to do for them.
Upon the conclusion of the promo draws, Fidelity Bank had given out 105 million naira and 108 consolation prizes to 171 savings account customers of the bank.
And on to the next. The atmosphere was charged as members of the Celestial Church of Christ worldwide converged on Lagos to engage God in prayers for the peace and well-being of our great nation, Nigeria. Anna Daniels was there, and she tells us that the church also set the day aside to appreciate the Virgin Mary for her contributions towards the growth of the Celestial Church of Christ worldwide.
Members of the Celestial Church of Christ worldwide there in high spirit. Young and old, they have come for one purpose, to seek the face of God for the progress of Nigeria.
Every evil, both sin and unseen physical and in the spiritual realm, that has been troubling the progress of this country for long, we want to call on our God, this same one God that both Muslim and Christians serve, to uproot this evil so that we can have peace.
And we believe God will accept our prayer.
Each and every one of us have to be very careful of what we do from now, because the Lord will not spare the evil people and those that destroy the country and take the wealth of the country to another country.
Pastor and spiritual head, Celestial Church of Christ worldwide, His Eminence, Reverend Emmanuel Shofa, who spoke through an interpreter, said, God's covenant with man is that of peace, protection, love, and prosperity. Through His Son Jesus Christ, He said, seeking God with sincerity of purpose, irrespective of age, religion, status, or political affiliation, is key to accessing God's promises.
We are now in a critical situation in Nigeria where the president of the country is trying to unite, is trying to lay a stronger foundation for a united, a more vibrant country. But there are some obstacles. There are different problems ranging from economic to cultural, all right? And we now look at it that you cannot be talking about self-determination, you cannot be talking about dividing the country while the president is seeking unification.
Using different languages, key members of the church led the congregation in prayer. Mary, Mother of the Lord Jesus Christ, was remembered on this day as a solid pillar of the church.
So far, so good. Moving on now to the next page. Among what you get to see is a report on widows and how they can be encouraged to be confident and independent. We'll take another break. Stay on the line.
From what we have seen, we have the capacity which we can rapidly develop or feed in ourselves. If we don't import rice, we stop importing corn and other grains, Nigeria will have plenty of money to invest into developing industries, especially manufacturing, textiles and so on, and develop iron and steel, and complement the infrastructure development. So really, the opportunities are virtually limitless, and we are very, very aware of this, and we are prepared to exploit it to the fullest.
Busy. Look at you, eh? See.
Keep those things well.
I know.
You know what? Let me get the Wi-Fi password. Uncle Bayo, please, can I have the Wi-Fi password?
You all will sign here. You sign here. Right here. And this is for 1 gig data plan. You sign here, here, here.
It's me, Obayo.
We need data. With 8 guarantors.
What? Why?
Woza. And right at the back, too.
Oh, come on, Bayo.
You are binded by the law.
How much is this internet?
Listen, how much is the internet? You want to know how much is the internet, then go to your house.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Do you know the 125? You know the 125? Do you know the 125? Oh, so you don't know the 125? Well, since you do not know about the 125, then let me introduce you to the 125.
McVitie's Digestive is celebrating 125 years by giving away millions of naira in cash and airtime in the 125 promo from the 1st of July to the 30th of September. Simply buy any of the McVitie's Digestive special promo packs, scratch the foil, and text the code to 55332, and you could be one of the lucky winners. Now, that's the 125. Keep buying, keep scratching, and keep winning. Approved by the National Lottery Regulatory Commission.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is working to ensure access to safe, good quality essential medicines with the World Health Organization pre-qualification of made in Nigeria pharmaceutical products, stiffer penalties for fake drug offenders with a review of NAFDAC laws, national, regional, and international collaborations, cutting-edge technologies, including the mobile authentication service.
NAFDAC as an agency is indeed doing so much to protect the health of our nation. I urge everyone to support NAFDAC in ridding the country of fake drugs and unwholesome products.
Let us support NAFDAC to win the war against fake drugs and other unwholesome regulated products. NAFDAC, safeguarding the health of the nation.
The Future Assured project of the wife of the president, Aisha Muhammad Buhari, is carrying out free medical screening and distribution of food items at various IDP camps while ensuring the economic empowerment of women through training and skill acquisition. In recognition of her efforts, wives of governors have lent their voices and support.
In Kogi State, we feel the impact of Future Assured, especially in women and children.
The Future Assured program of Mrs. Aisha Muhammad Buhari, the wife of the president, has been very assuring and still reassuring in Sokoto State. It has impacted positively in the areas of humanity, especially women and children.
Supports the Future Assured initiative. Email programs@futureassured.org.ng. Future Assured, promoting and protecting the lives of Nigerian women and children.
Chief. Good morning, sir. You are here already?
No. Now my spirit day, my body day for house. What kind of question is that? Were you not the one that fixed this meeting for 8 a.m.? You are now coming by 10 a.m. and start asking me job questions.
But Chief, now, I'm sorry. Don't you also go late for meetings sometimes? You know now, African time.
No more African time. And no more pancaking of face during office hours. At the end of the day, we will lose valuable time. We will not make progress. If we want to move this nation forward, we must treat business as business and respect time. Change begins with me.
Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Can we go for the meeting now, Chief?
Better.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency in conjunction with the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
Glad to have you back. One day rolled into another, and slowly but surely, 35 years came to be. Having spent all these years meritoriously serving the Nigerian Television Authority, it was time to bow out, holding his head high. He served in various capacities as a reporter and presenter, and rose to become a deputy director. Calm and calculated, he is a professional to the core. When he retired during the week, it was only appropriate to send him forth in grand style, and that was what exactly management of NTA did at the headquarters in Abuja. Ali Yakubu unveils the veteran.
Exactly on the 12th of July 1982, this renowned broadcast journalist joined the services of the Nigerian Television Authority NTA Enugu as a young reporter. Mr. Walter Naji rose through the ranks with dedication and commitment to duty and retired as a general manager NTA International. The retirement ceremony brought together who is who in the NTA family, including the Director General of NTA, Malan Yakubu Ibn Mohammed, who congratulated Mr. Walter Naji for a successful retirement. The DG also extolled the virtues of the erudite broadcaster and challenged other GMs and members of staff to emulate the unreserved professionalism and dedication to duty exhibited by Mr. Walter Naji.
Walter, there are lots and lots of goodies awaiting you outside, but you can't get them from within NTA. This is the time for you to go out, go after those goodies, and enjoy yourself.
Walter Naji has been a distinguished personnel of NTA. He has left an indelible mark.
It is our prayer that this retirement age will be better than the ones he's living.
But when you see Walter, you can see the humility personified. Walter is just one person that you may not want to avoid.
So let's go. N T A I. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations.
The new general manager, NTA International, Malan Abdurrahman Ibn Mohammed, commended the simplicity and dedication of the former GM, which earned him recognition and promised to improve on the foundation he laid.
He's a gentleman to the core, a patient, unassuming, humble person.
Mr. Walter Naji, who was overwhelmed by the outpouring of encomiums, thanked the NTA family for the recognition.
I am very grateful that just me, ordinary me, see the array of dignitaries that are here. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you.
Earlier, the management and staff of NTA International had hosted the former GM to a sent-forth reception to appreciate him for his service to the station.
All the best to Walter Naji as he begins a new chapter. It was a day filled with melody, music rent the air, and music lovers let down their hair as they savored the sweetness of different melodies. This was in Abuja, and the event was tagged Make Music Abuja, held on no other day than on the World Music Day. Let's hear about it from Ngufan Shaji.
A good number of entertainment personalities make the showbiz circle thrive in the capital city, ranging from the old to the younger generation of musicians. The euphoria is gradually catching on. Indeed, as against what was obtainable in the past, the music industry in the capital city is steadily growing, making Abuja a major force to reckon with. Though this has not come without sacrifices and the continuous efforts of some enthusiasts, the terrain has come to embrace a new face in the music industry. Make Music Abuja a platform for young arts to showcase their talents.
What is beautiful about Make Music is everybody, anybody, school band, children could come learn, how to play piano, keyboard, drum sets. Also we also have what is called voice warming. So it portends a lot for the Nigerian industry, giving them a platform for, to expose what they have.
The impact of music and its role in society is quite essential, and this, Kayode Olomoku believes, should be expressed in content.
How you make music. Thanks for giving us a fair share, Ngufan. Recently, the world marked the International Widows' Day. On this day, global attention is focused on the poverty and injustices faced by millions of widows across the world. In Lagos, a non-governmental organization recognized their situation and is doing so much to equip them to be confident and self-reliant. Emel Dori saw it all and compiled this report.
Husbands die. Many widows are forced to fight for their human rights and overcome many obstacles to ensure their social and economic development. Once widowed, many women often confront a denial of inheritance, land rights, degrading and life-threatening mourning periods, and diverse forms of abuses. Nearly half of them live in extreme poverty and are unable to fend for themselves and their children.
Some ethnic groups, if they lose their husband, it's as if they kill the husband. They drive them away from even self-owned properties, forgetting that the man left children.
In this age that we live, woman has to be up and doing, as in she has to be entrepreneurial in nature.
35-year-old Aisha Bashiru lost her husband 15 years ago. Since the demise of her husband, she struggles all by herself to train their only son.
I thank God that he gradually finished his secondary school due to the financial problem.
She says she only received 25,000 naira from his family to support herself and her baby at the time of her husband's death. Today, Aisha does petty trading to put food on the table.
And we are owing a house rent then. I paid out of that money they gave me. So the remaining change, I now use it to prepare. I started selling rice to support myself.
Aisha's case is just one out of many. Now listen to the stories of these women.
The military work, he gets his salary, he said, madam, see it. Then we do it, we remove our feeding, we remove the children's school something. But now I lost him, now everything is on me.
I managed to cope with a lot of people, my friends, my mother, because I don't have any support from my husband's family.
The International Women's Society on this day visited some communities in Lagos. The idea is to interact with widows, find out where and how they need support, and then give them the push they need.
It's as little as selling pure water to selling minerals or recharge cards or taking passport photographs. There are just so many little businesses you can do. Whatever your interest is, we will listen to you, and if you meet all the different criteria, then we will support you with funding.
We even buy them machine instruments for them to earn their own, to keep their prestige.
Some of the widows believe if they can acquire a skill, they can do a lot for themselves and be independent.
Like this soap making, puff, all these little things, they can sell.
No doubt, with a little push from concerned individuals and organizations, vulnerable widows in Nigeria will cease to be liabilities.
Widows need regular support. Individuals and organizations should always respond to their plight. Running off nicely, we'll take one last break and come back for the last segment. Stay on the line.
To restore my skin's natural fairness.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion with an innovative formula containing unique berry extracts to visibly lighten and care for your skin.
Hello. You must be here to pick up your sister. Mommy? Wow, you have the most beautiful glowing skin.
Now I have visibly fairer skin, making me feel younger.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion for visibly fairer skin. Nivea.
Welcome to the new world of superb taste, now here in Nigeria.
Everyone, try it and enjoy the delicious goodness.
We are bringing our new noodles to every corner of the country. That's right, it tastes great. It tastes fantastic. It's time for a new noodle.
Nigeria, you want the truly delicious taste? Come and get it! Be supreme, Nigeria.
Success. I always wanted to make something of myself. Even when I was a child. With So Clean, my mother made sure that my clothes were clean and bright. With a 30% concentrated formula, washing is faster, brighter, and cleaner. Like millions of families, mine also trust So Clean. With my clothes and with my career. Because when all eyes are on you, you have to look the part. So Clean. It's your time to shine.
So Clean. Now with a new look and stain magnet technology for even better stain removal.
Welcome back. When the bar and the bench gathered in Asaba to bid one of their most tested and trusted justices, Justice Frank Nwulu, farewell, it was only natural for Delta State Chief Judge, Justice Marshal Umukoro, to remind them to always be of good conduct. Rosemary Omani reports that the Chief Judge and other legal luminaries described Justice Frank Nwulu as a man of exemplary character, as his remains were laid to rest.
The 3-day rites of passage for the legal icon, quintessential father, husband, friend, and chancellor of the Anglican Communion, Asaba, Justice Frank Nwulu, could best be described as a carnival. The Anglican Church Bishop Court in Asaba and St. Matthew's Anglican Church in Idumujugboko in Anyocha North witnessed a roll call of clerics and dignitaries.
God will make us fulfill the number of our days. And the number of our days has to do with achieving the purpose for which God has brought us into the world.
The door-to-door rite was performed amidst sorrow and tears.
He lived a very fulfilled life. He was a man of honor and integrity.
I'm going to miss his sense of humor, his words of advice, wise counsel.
The late Honorable Justice Nwulu, somebody who was incorruptible, somebody with a lot of integrity.
Justice Nwulu was an exemplary man. His type is rare.
The reception held at Ugboko Primary School field was a potpourri of entertainment. There was also a valedictory course session for the legal icon.
As a magistrate then, and as a judge of this High Court, his respect for the person and office of the Chief Judge and colleagues was quite commendable. Late Justice Nwulu served as Chairman Robbery and Firearms Tribunal 1995 to 1996 at Sapele, Delta State, and Member Election Petitions Tribunal at Kano in 2000, including other positions. Justice Nwulu, who died at 87, is survived by his wife, Lady Ezine Hilda Nwulu, whom he fondly calls Hilly. 6 children, amongst whom is
The Assistant Director News of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Port Harcourt Network Center, Cordelia Ukwoma, and grandchildren.
May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen. And this is where we say goodbye and thanks for staying on the line all the way. As we wish you a blissful night rest, we remind you to stay on the line as next week our package will keep you on the edge of your seat. Do well during the week. Good night and God bless Nigeria.